Amazing to have you back here in Chaos Hills, where we will choose cities on one map in our all-time favorite game of Cities Skylines 2. And you can see the downtown, which we built some episodes ago, and we want to continue here in our downtown area. And we are in episode 52 already, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Chinatown, and we want to continue next to the Chinatown with a brand new district right here. So let's get started. And we already have a train depot right here, and I think we could expand the footprint of the train depot today. And around the train depot, I thought we can look for some industrial looking brick buildings. So we can imagine this is a new hip trendy district, which used to be an industrial dirty old district, which has now been reshaped to a new trendy area. Because it's not far away from downtown, it will have all the good access to public transit. So let's see if we can find some industrial buildings and create something cool. Something like roof terrace, fancy restaurants, walkable areas, plazas, and all the good stuff. So let's see, let's go through the buildings, what we can find. And we can already see we can find some cool stuff here in the signature building section right there. So those are some examples for buildings which we can use. I also want to use this office complex because it fits pretty good in this space right here. And now let's rearrange those buildings, and then we see how we can fill the gaps, of course. This building is pretty cool. I maybe want to use it multiple times today, and we need to bring in some alleyways. And of course we need a district. It's now Stuart Glade for now. If you have a better name for the district, let me know in the comments. It would be nice. We can create some parking. We are here in a pretty dense area, so every parking helps, I guess. And then we go through and add a bunch of regular buildings, I guess, from commercial to residential, a very mixed space. And in front of this building, I want to create a new pretty cool custom plaza. And the way I want to do this, working with some different surfaces right here. Let's try some surfaces until I'm satisfied with the way it looks. So this is the way we go, I think. And then we go through, I grabbed a bunch of statues or sculptures from the workshop, and I think we go with this one. Looks pretty cool. And then we surround it with some curbs and some benches. If you like what you see, please consider giving this video a like, and maybe subscribe as well if you haven't to my channel. Thanks so much. I do Cities Skylines Let's Plays and tutorials as well. So, okay, those planter configuration looks good, I think. Let's do this on the other side as well. And then we can go in, add some benches, and also add some invisible walking paths. So people hopefully will use this plaza, and this plaza will come to life because it's on a very prominent spot in our new area, in our new trendy hotspot area here in our city of Douglas. And Douglas is one of our two cities here on this map. The other one is Carson. It's far away in the mountains. And this is what we do in this series. We grow two cities more or less simultaneously. Douglas is the river town. It's the bigger town of those two. But yeah, we've been in the other town of Carson. Last episode we built a big Walmart. If you want to check it out, you of course can. And now let's find some benches. We can also use Sully's benches where we actually have some people sitting already there. This is cool. And now let's finish off this plaza with the last bits and pieces. Next to the plaza, I think we can fill the gap with some row houses right here. 2 row houses and maybe some custom parking in the middle. If you know me, you know I love my custom parking lots. And this is what we're going to do. Another nice big old custom parking lot with good accessibility from both sides of this block, I think. So let's go in with those parking spots by Dome and maybe some EV parking as well. Some charges right there is maybe a good idea for this area. And then we need to connect it up to the roads, of course. We need to add some invisible roads and maybe do something to fill in this gap. We can again use those curbs I grabbed on the workshop. They are very useful. Those curbs, I love those so much. And then we can add some plants, bushes, something like this into some vegetation right there, just to add something special, if you want to call it special, right there. Now let's connect it to the other side as well with some invisible paths so people can easily access our new parking lot. And I think this block is looking good. Let's separate the area a little bit from the highway with some trees. On the other side of the road, I think we can get away with some row houses. On the back of those row houses, I think we will add some more parking. We can add another custom parking lot and again add some trees to the side of it just to block the noise of the highway. Oh, it's a country road, but I think it works like a 4-lane highway. Anyway, it's producing noise. This is the point I'm trying to make here. So some trees won't hurt, I guess. Alright, so far so good. And for this center space, I think we can add a pedestrian road to start with. And then we try to find a bunch of buildings which fit in here. Maybe I have this custom one I downloaded. I want to use this one for ages. This one, yeah, with this nice angle. Maybe this is a good fit for here. And then I want to shuffle those buildings together. Those are technically only props, but we will add some blocks into it so they have a function. And yeah, imagine it's a fancy restaurant, a new fancy restaurant in town. So you have a nice space in front of those where you can sit. And I also want to build a roof terrace so people can enjoy the view over the city and have a drink or something to eat. So let's try to build our own custom roof terrace right here. And I want to do this, of course, with some brick style, and I use those brick walls and transform them angle wise so we have them a little bit as the underground. And then I want to also create some stairs with those brick fences right here, or the brick walls. So this took some time, and I will show you how I did it like this. With the transformation tool, it's pretty handy. And then I shuffle those around with move it, transform, lock them so they stay in place, and then we have a nice staircase right here leading into our roof terrace. So let's finish off this how you want to call it, says this arrangement of stairs and fences and walls, and we can fill some awkward spots with some greenery right here, add some flower pots, and I think this didn't turn out too bad. What do you think? Anyway, let's continue with the rest of our roof terrace. I think on the left side, it's only for maintenance, some ventilation, and some simple basic roof access and some dirt and stains. And on the right side, we will have our rooftop terrace restaurant here. So I use some decals, some brick decals, and then we'll add some tables and chairs and maybe some more planters and parasols, all the good stuff to make it look like a nice fancy restaurant. So this is coming together, I think. Would you like to have a drink or something to eat right here? Let me know in the comments if you like my rooftop terrace restaurant. We can add some lights here on the walls, and of course add some people just entering the restaurant, something like this. And we want to continue right here in front of the building with some more tables and chairs. Of course, we can add a fake door right there so people can actually enter our rooftop restaurant, because this looks more like a window than a door, I think. And then we have maybe a doormat as well, something right there. And then we copy those tables and put them right here on the ground, so people who didn't get a table on the rooftop, they can sit here. And this is also a nice place, I think. It's a nice cozy space in between those old industrial houses, which are now renewed for some nice fancy apartments and fancy restaurants. So I think this place is a good place to live if you want to live central. And yeah, I think this should be a pretty expensive district, I think. Yeah, I don't know, maybe there are some cities you can compare it with, but I'm not sure. Let me know if you have any examples which this district is similar of. Anyway, now let's continue with the more row houses right here, just to fill in the space between the road, so the main road of the district, and our country road on the back side. And maybe we can add another nice plaza right here, make use of the weird gaps by adding some special stuff right here. And I also want to squeeze in a parking lot or two, make use of this space. Can we do this? It's a little bit tight, but I think we can make it work. There we go, another one for this building, so you have your own dedicated parking space right there. This is cool. I think this is something special. Let's add some decals. Decal works like dirt and stains and tire marks, all the good stuff I always do, of course, to make it come together and make it look a little bit more realistic. And look at this, already someone is using the parking space. Nice. So let's continue this. We can add another charger right here in the back of this building. Then now let's continue this tiny little plaza, which I like very much. Nice central space. So I think this is looking all right. What do you think? And of course we want to add some trees on the backside of those houses. And maybe also can add a fence just to bring in a little bit more separation between the gardens and the country road. And now let's fill in the rest of the space with some different stuff. I used the Netherland underground parking garage, which I think fits pretty good because it's a brick building as well. And then we go through with the medium-sized buildings and some more row houses, squeeze them in. We can add this beautiful building right here, which has a rooftop terrace too, so we maybe can detail up this terrace as well a little bit. So we have two rooftop terrace next to each other, and then we can add some pathways, just people can walk through those backyards right there, and fill in some gaps with some trees and shrubbery there. We can create another little park right here with this space. So I think we have a bunch of small parks in this area, and this makes this area very interesting and special, I think, and a nice place to live again. So this is an actual park, so it will function. We can detail up again with some trees and some benches. And this house, this row house right here on this site next to the Netherland parking garage is lucky, I think, because we will increase the property a little bit and give this house some love. We can add a parking spot right here. We can use the invisible one, and hopefully it will work out. There we go. And then we surround it with a fence, add some trees and some props into the garden of this house. And I think this fills in again the space pretty good, because we have a lot of curves right here, not that many straight roads, so we have to do a little bit more work. But in the end, this is an interesting spot of the city, I think. So it makes sense to take a little more time to create this district. For those gaps right here, we can add some garbage containers and bins and all this stuff. Maybe 1 or 2 homeless tents as well, because yeah, that's realistic and we have a homeless problem in the city. We can't deny it. Yeah. Anyway, and in front of this building, I thought maybe some bike racks is a nice idea. We haven't played around with bike racks in the city that much, so maybe this is something. Let's see how the people behave. And I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 trees won't hurt as well. So let's see what we can do right here. Alright, continuing further down the street, we can fill those gaps with just some row houses. This will be a quick build, but this is fine as well. So let's just add some blocks of row houses and maybe we can detail those up with some trees, and that's it, I think. Okay, and now back to our second roof terrace. This is more or less a private roof terrace spot, I think, with some pools right here, and we can add some people and maybe some more parasols and maybe a barbecue, something like this. Let's grab some beach guys and beach girls and add them into those pools and here and there, so we have some life on this roof terrace as well. And those roof terraces are, I guess, our focal point of this district. And it's come together. We can also try to lay someone right here. So let's cover him up. He's not laying perfectly on his deck chair, but this is fine. And maybe we need to add another transformer station right here. And we can also add those small power lines. I think this power lines bring some realism to our city as well. I always forget to place them, but in this case, I remembered to do this. And now we come back to what we started with, and this is the train depot. And I want to detail up the train depot because it has a huge footprint. It has something special here. This is our reminder. This district just was some industry, and this maybe is left. The train depot is the last actual industry, if you want to call it like this, in this district. And I think this is pretty fitting. What do you think? So let's detail it up a little bit with some props and some dirt and grass and some textures. And then I think we're good to go with our district. Then we will have a look how it turned out. And we're then coming to an end of the video. And if you like what you see and you want to support me, you can do this by becoming a channel member. It's only 99 cents and you will get this safe game. So you can check out the city by yourself. You will get my mod list and I will update it. And you will get access to a special Discord server, some emotes from a YouTube channel, all the good stuff. Check the perks if you would like to support me. It's only 99 cents. I would be happy. And I think it's looking fine. I like this district. I might wanna buy an apartment right here. What do you think? Where would you live in my city? Let me know. Okay, and I think that's it for today. Enjoy the cinematics, and I hope I see you back here in the next episode in Chaos Hills. I'm Chaos Fun. Have a good one. Bye bye.